In this episode, we'll enjoy a European wine and dining experience in the intimate setting of Monet's Wine Bistro, walk the pictorial murals of downtown Exeter, and sample the heavenly treats of Wildflower Cafe. Come on, let's dine out along the road. Every town, every city has its hot spots and hidden gems. Those delicious dining destinations that keep us coming back for more. Join us as we discover the stories behind the food, wine, and interesting people of Central California. Come on, let's dine out along the road. Our first visit transports us to the cobblestone streets of Paris, a true hidden treasure of the Central Valley. Monet's Wine Bistro features an intimate setting with copper ceilings, sepia paintings, and deliciously elegant cuisine. Owner Jennifer Davis brings a slice of European experience with gourmet dishes, exquisite desserts, and fine wines. What a beautiful, lovely town. What a gorgeous day. You were talking earlier about how you can almost smell the citrus permeating through the air. You kind of can.
Yes.
You know? Why Exeter? I can see why Exeter, why you started the restaurant. It's a lovely, beautiful town, but what was the inspiration for you to start the restaurant here?
Well, out of college, I was going to settle in Visalia, but we had friends who said, oh, you must come to Exeter. It's like Disneyland. That's truly the word they used, and they described the murals and said, you must come see the murals. I decided this was a town that invests in itself and that it would be a great town to be a part of.
Yeah, I think this is one of the really great little cities in Central California. I mean, it's just interesting people, interesting restaurants like yours, and lovely experience for the shopper. I can see why you're down here. Yeah.
It's nice to be part of an outdoor art gallery.
It is.
Why wouldn't you want to do that?
Yeah, that's a really good description. Okay, really? This beautiful mademoiselle, the images of the Eiffel Tower. I feel like I'm transported to a beautiful little cafe outside of the Louvre in Paris, France. Is that what you wanted to try to create here?
That's exactly what I was hoping for. I thought the cafes around the Louvre are so rich and inviting, and I wanted to capture that feeling.
What do you think is your signature dish here at Monet?
Well, of course, for our starters, our Lavender Brie is our most popular dish. The chefs just know they're going to make a good 20 or so on an evening. And it's a delicious dish. But we have a salmon ravioli dish that's well received, and a lobster ravioli. We do a croque monsieur, a steak, all kinds of things, some pizzas.
Today we're going to be working on our Lavender Brie, which is, I would have to say, it's far and away our most ordered appetizer. That's the one that if the servers come back and they say, well, what should I suggest? There are some new customers, and I say, give them that Lavender Brie, because it's a winner. It's kind of an interesting dish because it mixes a lot of different components. You have the real rich fattiness of the brie. The caramelized shallots have their own level of sweetness, but still savory. And then we have some honey and some lavender, which are kind of in the middle there as far as the dish is concerned. So it covers a lot of the spectrum as far as taste. So I just kind of toss this through, the butter's melted, and now I'm gonna get a little bit of color on these shallots before I put anything else in. If I put the honey in too soon, it'll start burning the sugars in the honey. So we'll just kind of let this ride for a little bit. And then I'm gonna put in about a teaspoon of lavender. And that's kind of the magic to this one. It's a real floral, perfumed kind of flavor going on. A little bit of that, and then we garnish with a little bit of black pepper. And that is our caramelized lavender and brie appetizer. And we make them all the time.
The restaurant business can be really tough. It's a 24/7 job. And where did your inspiration come from opening up a restaurant when you could have probably done different things in
Well,
life?
first, my dad always said, you can do anything you put your mind to. And my mom always said, you don't try something, you just do it. And so I didn't have any fear when it came to, I want to do this, I'm going to do it. So that was the main inspiration. But when I came to this town, it had lots of wonderful things going on. But I thought, you know what, this town needs coffee. And so first it was taking over what was before Wildflower. And then I teased people that first I needed a coffee shop because I had young children. But as they became teenagers, I teased them that now I need wine. We need a wine bar, and this town is ready for it. And the town has been ready. for years.
For the size of the restaurant, and it's so intimate and quaint, and it's just lovely. I mean, you have an elaborate wine list. I mean, you have wines from all over the world, it looks like. Can you describe that a little bit for us?
Well, the people who live here typically love the Central Coast wines, so we do heavily represent Paso Robles. We do a little bit of Napa, and then we try to have just a few from Oregon or something from Argentina. We try to get a good assortment. We have some from Murphy's now, but really Paso Robles is what our customers are after.
There's a theme to Monet that centers around that beautiful flower, lavender, isn't there?
Yes, so I was trying to tie in the French lavender theme. So over time, we have created a lavender cheesecake, which is our most popular dessert. We also do lavender Italian sodas, which I'd love to show you, and a lavender latte, all super popular items.
I can smell the aroma permeating throughout the entire restaurant of what Andy made for us, and this little wine pairing that you're going to create for us just now. What wine are we going to taste?
Well, this wine is Parish Family Vineyards, and the owner is actually from Visalia.
Ah, great.
And he brings the wine himself when he comes.
It smells amazing. Very nice.
I think it'll go well with
nice.
your brie. We probably started making it 6 years ago, and I think, what did we do before that? What did people eat? But it's such a special experience. I tried to make sure people have had it if they haven't been here before. So I can go away with something like that.
Beautiful presentation. Looks amazing. Wow. That is
Isn't
awesome.
that special?
That is really, really good. It's cheesy and creamy, and I think those are shallots, actually.
They are shallots, yeah, caramelized.
And it just all comes together really beautifully. That's a really delicious dish with that wine, that cheese. Hey, Jennifer, you know what my nickname was in college?
What?
It was Sugar Ray. Now, seriously, it was Sugar Ray. Not because I was sweet, because I love desserts. And this is one of your signature desserts, right?
It is. It's
Yeah.
creme brulee.
Oh my gosh, I love creme brulee too. It's one of my favorite desserts. A little crunchy there, custard in the bottom. Fantastically delicious. Sounds like a cereal commercial. That's really, really good, Jennifer.
Good.
All of the desserts here at Monet, you make from scratch.
Yes, they're all
And they're all
homemade.
fresh. Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, for instance, this one has a little bit of an orange liqueur in there. We want to tie in the orange theme of the town as well. And so soon we'll be doing an orange sorbet too. But all of our desserts have been homemade and developed over the bakers that we've had over the years. We've had lots of wonderful bakers.
When you walk out on the street, it feels like a little movie set.
It does,
It does,
doesn't it?
doesn't it? It feels like
Yeah.
you're a little bit of Hollywood or in a Fox
Yes.
studio or something like that. It's just lovely. What was the onus for you to open up the restaurant Monet is right here in this building?
You know, at first I was thinking I would just use this building as a little bakery for Wildflower, but then we thought, well, let's just turn it into a wine bar. And we had no idea how exciting that would be. People said, we love the wine, but we need food. We need more food. And so our menu just expanded from there, one thing after another.
Yeah, you've
been
done
really
a great
nice.
job. It's lovely. I mean, I can just imagine with a glass of wine and that delicious appetizer sitting right
Yes,
here looking at that
watching the
beautiful
town.
mural and the fragrance of citrus everywhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any better.
No.
A favored community gem, Wildflower Cafe. The vibrant colors of the floral decor make for an absolutely tranquil setting on the cafe's patio, where the joyful sounds of chatting friends and family are met by dangling wind chimes. Owner Donna Barlow and her family of staff serve scrumptious treats and a classic cup of joe to morning visitors, and appetizing salads, sandwiches, and mouthwatering sweets to daily diners. Wildflower Cafe, a hallmark of the community. What's the history of this beautiful little cafe right here in downtown Exeter?
Well, actually, my family and I started this back in 1991. There was a building here on the corner called the Mixture Building, and my parents and I bought it, and I opened up a little coffee shop there. Well, we were open just a brief time, and there was an accident and a fire, and the whole building burned down. After that, I was closed for a year. I moved to a location over on Pine Street across from the bank. And then in 1994, I believe, we moved here to this location where the Wildflower is right now. And it's a perfect spot. And in '96 is when the first mural got started. And after that, things in Exeter have just been better and better every year.
When people come in here, it's almost like you know everybody that walks in here, and then they always seem to talk about and gravitate to these lemon cookies. And where do you get the inspiration for the design?
Well,
Just
luckily,
something?
I have an artist on staff who's my son, JJ.
Oh, wow.
And he did all these for you today. And he also did our lemon cookies, which really, these are my favorite over
That
here.
was awesome.
The lemon cookies are really silly.
Soft and buttery and creamy and delicious, you know, and it's not really super sweet, but just deliciously sweet.
Scary, huh?
That's excellent. That is so good. Why do you love this? I mean, you know, working in a cafe,
It's a little
restaurant,
crazy, yeah.
it is nutty, right? And there's a lot of work and a lot of responsibilities. What's your love for it, and what keeps you going? What's your passion for it?
I've always loved the restaurant industry. I worked in Fresno at a really fun place too. And I was a manager there. I went in the Navy for a brief stint, came out, and then I got my job at the airlines after travel college. And having experienced a lot of the world and small towns, and just really, you get a feeling for just these little niches, you know, of pockets of beauty. And I've always been drawn to that. And so I was fortunate enough to be in line to be able to come up behind Jennifer and take over.
What is this?
This is our probably our most popular sandwich. It's our California chicken panini, and it has pesto that we make here from scratch, and
Is that a
grilled
flatbread?
chicken. Yeah, it's an herbed flatbread that we toast on the panini, tomato, and there's no onion on it, right, guys? There is a red onion.
That is really good.
Thank you.
That is really good.
This is our Tuscany. It's a vegetarian sandwich with garlic oil, artichoke heart, sun-dried tomatoes, olives, provolone cheese, and pesto.
Wow. No, this is like a pizza marries
Yeah.
a sandwich.
And a nice flaky croissant. And a honey Dijon dressing.
Yes, I love that.
Coolio.
That is so good. Flaky, perfect little croissant, exactly the way you're supposed to eat it,
Thank you.
and the way you're supposed to make it. That's really good. One more.
Indeed. See, he likes that one. That's where he's at.
In this episode, I will gain 17 pounds.
Oh, boy. And then we have our ultimate turkey sandwich. That one has hummus that we make here from scratch, avocado, pesto mayo, provolone sprouts, tomato, turkey, and I don't think I missed anything.
That's kind of right in my
Ciabatta.
wheelhouse.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think you've got a big
You had me at
wheelhouse.
tomato and avocado, pretty much.
I love that one. That one really sets me up.
That is
Isn't it
fresh
nuts?
and springy and
Yeah.
delicious. And I mean, I can see myself eating that with a cold little beverage in that beautiful little setting out there in your courtyard.
Keeps them coming
That's
back.
heaven. That's heaven.
Thank you.
Yeah. What do you want people of the Valley to know about your beautiful little town of Exeter, California? What's the experience you want them to get from coming here?
You know what we hear from people that come from out of the area, whether it to be to shop, to eat, to go on a mural tour, is how clean Exeter is, how friendly Exeter is, and all of the neat little restaurants and boutiques that we have. It's a great place to stop and spend a day.
You know, it's interesting, too. I grew up in the valley in Visalia, and I remember traversing down 198, heading up to Sequoia National Park or Kauai Lake, and and almost thinking about Exeter as an afterthought. And really, that's the biggest mistake someone can make, because this isn't really your mother's Exeter. This is really a different, re-energized, beautiful little gem in the valley. I just love it.
I do too.
Just steps away from Monet's, Exeter's Orange Harvest Mural supplies the most magnificent view for diners, passerbys, and visitors alike. The walls of many historic buildings throughout downtown provide canvases for 31 murals of the outdoor gallery, reflecting the history, folklore, culture, and local life of the town. Preserving Exeter's history, the murals have generated vitality and pride among the community. How did this all come about here in Exeter, for these beautiful murals are lining the streets virtually everywhere?
You know, like everything you see in Exeter, it's really a product of the people. I think it had pretty humble beginnings. I think you had business owners and people who were invested both kind of emotionally and financially in the downtown, who wanted to do more to bring people to Exeter. So they started brainstorming, what can we do to make Exeter stand out a little bit? We've got the architecture, we've got that small town charm, but what's special about it? And I think they thought, let's try some public art. So what you see behind you is mural number 1. As you take the tour, you will work your way all the way through to mural number 31.
Wow.
And that's what really makes Exeter different. A lot of communities have murals. Some amateur, some professional, some student done. Everyone seems to like to have a mural. But what makes Exeter different is we really have an entire gallery. And it's a professional art gallery. It just happens to be outdoors. So this one may be number 1, but it has been a progression through the years from 1996 until very recently. We completed number 31, and we'll be working on number 32 next.
Fantastic. And why these depictions? You know, I mean, what was the creative direction on the design of these beautiful murals? I mean, most of them have a real sense of everyday life in California, I guess, right?
The concept and the overall theme has stayed pretty solid. With this first mural, you see kind of that slice of life in the citrus belt of you know, the eastern San Joaquin Valley. Very much an Exeter mural with the citrus and the agribusiness that is so featured here. But what has stayed consistent through all 31 murals is they all reflect something about local life here. In various ways, corporate life, agricultural life, the history, Native Americans, the wars, all kinds of different aspects and different slices of life, but everything has a historical accuracy and an appropriate cultural element that is Exeter. Some people will look at them and think that they were simply reproduced and, you know, plastered up on the wall like a sticker. These are all hand-painted, just like an artist would paint on a canvas an original work of art. These are all hand-painted on the wall. So every one has been painstakingly done with scissor lifts and ladders and whatever it takes to get to where they need to be.
What do you want people to know when they come and visit your town, the experience you want them to walk away with?
You know, I think the experience I want them to walk away with is the experience they do walk away with, which is that small town America is still thriving, that amidst all the growth and all the urbanization, that you can still come to a place like Exeter and experience that small town America that either you remember or that you want to remember. You know, it's that hometown feel regardless of where you're from.
Yeah. Right here in Exeter, California, dining out along the road. All of it here in Exeter, California. Do one more take. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Wildflower Cafe. Yeah, man. You're smiling, making me laugh. On the next episode of Dine Out Along the Road, what a great way to spend a morning. We visit Kingsburg, California.
It's like a history of my town, my life.
Join us for the taste and treasures of this hidden gem.